and his heart grew 3 times bigger. Preschool got it. Thank you, Ireland. I would like to welcome family, friends, board members, administration, faculty, underclassmen to Tower Hill School's 2014 graduation ceremony. I would also like to thank the class of 2014 for the privilege of being their commencement speaker. It is an honor that I will always hold dear to my heart. I have a special bond, as you know now, with this graduating class. I've had the privilege of being a surrogate uncle to a beautiful young lady of this wonderful class, a young lady whom I love like a daughter. I've had the advantage of watching this class grow, mature, into fine young adults through the eyes of a parent, and it's been an amazing 14 years. The great poet, playwright, and author, Oscar Wilde, once said, "There is only one thing in life worse than being talked about, and that is not being talked about." Well, dear sir, I believe you're wrong. After this school year, it has been a trying year, probably the most trying period in our school's history. And when I say trying, I believe everyone knows what we're talking about. Obviously, the men's soccer team's first round knockout in the state tournament. Devastating time in our school's history. All right, enough of the depressing talk, on to the positive. During that difficult time, the class of 2014 was a guiding light in those unimaginable, horrible times. The class of 2014 picked up the Tower Hill community with its solidarity and spirit. I would like to thank you on behalf of the faculty, community, and myself for your positive energy and your side-splitting humor. Thank you. When I was first asked to give the commencement speech, I initially thought, with the year we had, I should talk about each student individually. 57 students, 30 seconds apiece, about 30 minutes. My opening's 30 minutes, that's 30, so 90 minutes for my speech, and I thought that might be way too long. So I decided against it. But oh, if I could take the time to talk about you guys. The stories. Who could forget Polish Christmases? Yeah, one person got that, good. Timeouts given, many. Eye-to-eye problem resolutions. Daily discussions with my 10 a.m. drop-in group. And fashion advice, such as you never wear red and green unless it's December, or you're an elf, or you're Coach Earhart. There's another issue to this approach. There's a handful of graduates that I did not teach or coach. In fact, I'm sure some of you are a bit surprised that I'm standing here right now. When the school announced that I would be speaking, I heard through the grapevine that someone said, "I don't even know her." My last name is Sharon, not my first. So I think you can see the issues of me speaking individually about you when you think I am a woman. So I'm relegated to giving you advice, which is ironic because I've been giving you advice for 14 years and you have not listened once. So sit in your chairs and enjoy. As many of you know, I am a hopeless romantic. I had to laugh at that myself. And I want to start with a short love story. But please pay attention because the moral of the story will serve you well next year. A young man met the love of his life in college. One day, he confessed his love to her right in the middle of class. In a very dramatic scene, he stood up and said, "I love you." Silence. The brave announcement caught the girl off guard. She refused to answer that day in class, and the young man ran out of the room devastated. He missed the next week of classes because of his embarrassment. The following week, he came back to class, placed his books on his desk, and went up to the professor to apologize and to catch up on the work he had missed. While the young man was speaking to the professor, the young lady, who had spent the week thinking of him and realized she loved him too, quickly grabbed his textbook, opened to the chapter which they would be reading next in class and wrote, "I love you." Months passed, and the young lady was confused and hurt because the young man never replied to her written message in her book. The moral to my story: please open your textbooks when you go to college. You may actually learn something. My next advice is you will fail. You will make a mistake, an utterly huge mistake. You will trip, you will fall. You will have your heart broken into 1,000 miserable little pieces. I can guarantee one, God bless you, one or all of these will happen to you in the first, second, third, and fourth year of college. Some of you may have it happen to you in your 5th year of college, and that's fine. Mom and Dad may not like it, but to be honest, I do hope you face some of these challenges. From within these challenges, character is built. Be the person who is able to laugh at themselves when they make a mistake instead of looking to place blame on others. The question is not, why does this always happen to me, but rather, how am I going to respond and learn from this experience? Each one of these challenges is merely a rung in a ladder of experience, and it's up to you to climb that ladder. You might as well do it in style. So when you fail, take a moment, and using a coach's metaphor, be mad for 3 seconds, then move on. When you make that utterly huge mistake, remember the words of a retired Englishman who threw away his wife's $181 million lottery ticket. We all make mistakes. After you have tripped and fallen, and as a friend of mine so beautifully stated, one of the most important characteristics is resilience. Because in life, you're going to get knocked down over and over, but there's no giving up. And lastly, when your heart is broken, remember these words of the philosopher and poet Paul Houston, aka Bono. A heart that hurts is a heart that beats. So get over it and move on. As you leave Tower Hill, you will realize today's world is full of contradictions. There is much debate over our country's immigration policy, which I find unusual since we are a country of immigrants. And I've often wondered what Native Americans thought about this debate. Corporations are considered a person in our political system, but not a person when laws are broken. Pop culture idols, professional athletes are looked up to and swim in a pool of wealth while our schools struggle to find funding. We live in a country where orange is the new black. What I ask of you today, as you venture into this inconsistent world, is not to be the contradiction, but the confirmation. Confirm that compassion still exists. Confirm morals are not a trait of the past. Confirm that love and respect are still characteristics valued in our society. And do not confirm these essential qualities for others, but do it for yourself. And on a lighter note, here are some quick tips for your first year of college. Take an extra blanket to the 2 a.m. fire alarm. It's a great way to get a date. Step out of your comfort zone, try something new, talk to someone not in your circle of friends, join clubs, intramural sports, anything that gets you out of your dorm meeting people. And as you're meeting new people, don't forget your old friends or even teachers. Teachers love hearing from past students, and we love it even more when you take us out to lunch. Or better, a round of golf. Finally, this will undoubtedly happen to you. One morning, next fall, you will awake with the brutal realization that your parents and your family are pretty cool. You'll realize the sacrifices they made, the saintly patience they displayed, and their unconditional love they gave you. When this feeling grips you, you're allowed to pick up the phone and call your parents to thank them. You may even want to tell them that you love them. I wish the best of luck to each one of you. Thank you.